last time we worked on. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are jumping back on the Camaro. We got Dad and a good friend from church helping us out here. But as you remember last time we were looking at it, we had an issue with some sagging door pins where the doors were very difficult to open and close. You can see how much they have actually been sagging. And then we also have some really bad condition door handles. So the first thing we're tackling tonight is going ahead and taking off the doors. Dad and Mark already have the driver's side door off over here, and trying to get the glass out because we actually have some window regulators as well. And then maybe while they're messing with the doors, I might actually come over here and start tinkering with the engine. That is another thing that is on our list. Getting the 350 running that's in it, just so we can kind of shake it down on the road and enjoy it a little bit before that engine possibly comes out, because I think long term we are planning on doing some sort of LS and make it kind of like a resto mod. So as you can see over here, they already got that driver's side door off. I'm about to start messing with these hinges a little bit, grinding these pins off and knocking them out. And you can see these factory bushings are just absolutely shot. And I will say one thing that I am worried about is these have been riding metal on metal for so long that the actual hole is walled out too much. So I might have to do a little bit of welding on it. It doesn't scare me too much, but we're gonna try the door pins, and if the door pins don't work, they do sell full replacement hinges, but they are a little bit more pricey than door pins. I think the door pins were about $14 for the full set, both sides of the car, but the hinges are actually about $60 a piece. So we're gonna try the hinge pin route first, but worst case, we can buy full replacement hinges. So we've gotten a lot of our parts in for what we are going to be working on. We got some Summit parts and some Rock Auto parts. I did go ahead and get, that's for another car, I did go ahead and get a couple of thermostat housing gaskets, just to have them. I think they were $1 a piece. New valve cover gaskets, a new intake gasket. We have our door hinge pins. I did get a hinge pin, I did get a door hinge spring compressor tool, just because I know I've fought with those before with like a screwdriver. So this thing was like 10 bucks, so might as well get it. We did go ahead and get some new door handles, and we are going with the black rather than the factory chrome. We do have 2 new window regulator motors. Got a new set of NGK spark plugs, some thermostats, and then I also have a set of plug wires because on our engine I couldn't find some of those components. We do have a distributor, but like I said, we're just trying to spend as little money as possible just to get this thing running, see how it runs, enjoy it a little bit, and then ultimately we will be pulling this out and putting an LS in it. So I'll go ahead and set up the camera on a tripod, and I'll probably go ahead and start messing with knocking those pins out of the driver's side hinge, and hopefully works good, and we'll go from there. All right, you can see absolutely how bad these things are. See how bad they are. Yeah, bottom one's just as bad. All right, so let me get that angle grinder, and I'll just go lock the tops of these off, and we'll get them things separated. All right, so this top pin, yeah, I think that's the top pin. You can see it completely wore through the bushings, and then it was actually metal on metal. I don't know if you can see, it is definitely oblong the hole, so I think I might have to take these upper bushings out and re-weld the hole on this side, and then re-drill them out to the right size, and then we'll drop in the bushings. But this OER kit, I need to see, the two top bushings, I believe, are oversized and knurled. So I'm wondering if they were taking account for, you probably have to drill out the top, but I'm unsure of that, because it about fits in here, but the top side is definitely too small, so I'll look into that. All right, so I got these holes kind of TIG welded where it was worn out, so I'll get on the grinder and the sander and try to open those holes back up. I don't think I can drill them because it might try to eat into this portion up here, so I'll probably try to get it as close as I can with the little carbide burr on the Dremel. All right, so I got the new bushings in the upper one. Saw we welded it up. And then there was a small bushing on the bottom, big one on the top. So I drilled out the bottom one to 31/64, so roughly 12.5 millimeter. So let's get it bolted on. Dad's getting the new motor in the door. We got a fresh black door handle on there. Had to do a little bit of shimming to it to get it to not hit the paint in the corners, but just threw some washers behind it. So hopefully we'll have a window going up and down here in a second. All right, so we got the door closing decent. Body lines match up a whole lot better than what they did. We are getting a little bit of rubbing right here, but I was talking with Dad. It might be where the subframe bushings in here are worn out and the whole car is kind of tweaked up right here. Or could be from, you know, a misaligned fender and that blowout, but I would say with those bushings being however old, almost 50 years old, 45 years old, they might be tweaked a little bit. So, but, so onto we got to throw the glass back in and then on to the next side. All right, there it is. Fresh motor, windows back in. Got a little hot wire up and down action. Ooh, that's getting hot. That wire's way too small for that motor. She's working though. All right, so it's a new day and we're jumping back on the Camaro. A couple weeks ago, we took off the other door and fixed that hinge, and it's a little bit earlier in the day now, so hopefully we will be able to get this second door and hinge fixed up, and then we are gonna jump on the motor and try to get that thing at least fired off. I don't know, we probably can't drive it tonight because our tires are still really bad. And we don't have any exhaust, but we'll at least try to crank it up and see how that goes. So now we're going ahead and working on getting this other door off. We just jumped the window regulator motor just to get the window down a little bit. And I think there is a couple of bolts right in here to detach the glass from the tracking. We have a couple of window stops in there to pull out. And then we're just gonna try to pull the glass out of the door while it's hanging on the car, which will be a little bit easier than us doing it on the sawhorses. All right, so what we did here to get the glass out, we did have to loosen up these, I guess, window track alignment bolts and just kind of pull them back, both the front and the rear. And then you saw we were able to kind of like roll the glass out. And some of the studs or the bolts sticking through the glass and like the nut bolt heads will get caught on this right here. So just if you're doing this job yourself, just you know, be mindful of that and be yeah. So like y'all have seen before, the little walk around, these door corners are a little rotten out. This one's the worst of the two, and I'm not sure if you can actually buy these replacement corners. So I know you can buy a full door, but I don't know if we don't have to. I don't want to have to buy a new door. And then also, I don't know if somebody has replaced these motors before, but they've gone in here and cut all this out. Yeah, I guess, yeah, or for a speaker. I think we were looking at that. I think somebody retro modded some speakers in the door. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace this window motor, just because we got new ones and these are a little squeaky. We're gonna go ahead and lube up these window trackings, put the glass back in, and I'm gonna go ahead and mess with those hinges there. All right, and like I mentioned before, we jumped off the motor just with some alligator clips to get the window down earlier. And to jump off these motors, you want to ground the shell, and then to go up or down, you just put power to either one of these two pins that are in there. So when we jumped it in the car earlier, all we did, I just clamped the negative straight to the window motor bracket and then positive to one of those pins there. So if you got a stubborn bushing that's right here, I was just having to drive this top one, but to keep you from kind of driving this thing closed, I just made like a little, almost like a machinist jack. I just have a bolt slid in a little spacer that I have, and just slid it right in here, and then jacked it up. And you could probably do the same thing with a long bolt as well. Just to keep this thing from closing in, and if there are two closed, you can use this to kind of spread it back out as well. All right, so when we were putting this this upper door hinge on, we threw the pin through it, but the knurling on the pin actually was too loose down here, and the pin was staying stationary and it was rotating on here, so it wasn't, the pin was staying stationary in the brass bushings. So if we would have left it like that, it would have just eat metal on this top hinge. So what I did was I just went in there and added a slight bit of weld back to it and then re-drilled it. I think I used a R drill bit and then had to sand it just slightly because it was about 0.341 is the pin diameter. So this should be able to hold on the knurling now. So we'll go ahead and throw it on and then throw the door back on. So we got it drove back in, and this is a properly operating door hinge. You can see the pin is staying stationary to this part of the hinge, and then it's allowing it to rotate on the brass bushings in there. So my cousin told me that when I guess the previous owner that had the Camaro before him had kind of done a little bit of like, I guess, head port matching. You can see it in there. I mean, not the straightest of jobs, but I guess he did clean up a little bit of those rough casting of the intake. We got the China rails gooped up, so we're about to drop this intake on. These plugs were gapped at about 40. We're going to open them up to about 45 since this is an old HEI. It's a new day. Last time we worked on it, I went to go lash the valves, and the rocker arm nuts, some of them I could actually spin by hand. So I waited, went ahead and got a new set of those. So we already got all of those set. Dad is over here messing with the distributor. My fault, I didn't look and make sure we had everything, and we're missing a vacuum advance, so he's kind of doing like a little lockout just so we can get it running. And so now we're gonna go ahead and throw the valve covers on and carb, and I'm just gonna hook my boat gas tank up to it for the time being, just so we can see if we can get this thing busted off. There's your homemade vacuum advance lockout right there when none of the auto parts stores are open. Well, they don't have them in stock. All right, so I think we are ready here. We got the rockers lashed, plug wires on. You saw us put the distributor on. We plugged off some vents. We got the old boat gas hooked up to this thing. Accelerator pumps running or working properly. My cousin did say we need to rebuild the carb, so I'm not sure if it will idle, but we will make it try. We don't have any belts hooked up or anything, but we are about to, and then you saw us, we did stick the drill down in there with the little spade bit on there, and not a spade bit, but a homemade oil pump primer, and we went ahead and primed the engine, verified oil pressure in there. So I think we're good to go. There's a lot of things like the throttle. We couldn't find the little bracket for it. We do have the choke hooked up. We got our timing light ready to make sure that we have the distributor kind of somewhat okay. I do have it slightly loose so where we can finely tweak it. So we're about to try busting this thing off here in a second. We got straight long tube headers. If it fires up, it'll be sounding good. So let me go ahead and throw this on the tripod and we'll give it a try. I can. All good? Everything good? Here we go.
I cut it off.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you want me to go?
Might as well.
Here we go.
There she is. We should have plugged the old fuel line because it just shot a bunch of fuel everywhere. So let's get that plugged off, and I don't know, or we can hook the boat gas up to it. Yeah, let's just hook the boat gas up to the fuel pump.
Well, you're running old gas, so.
I mean, we can purge out the old gas.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so we got the boat gas hooked up down there at the fuel pump. And then I just went ahead and hooked up the original line back up to the carb. So let's go ahead and try it again.
I guess so. Ready?
Yeah.
Hot.
Do it again.
Keep a little accelerator. Think no.
All right. I need to rotate this thing. It's firing after. So what do I need to?
Well, it's running clockwise. So turn
running
it counterclockwise.
It's running clockwise.
You can turn that counterclockwise. There you go.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. A little bit more.
Is this thing in park?
I hope.
I don't know. Something was spinning there. Oh, wait. Is that the drive shaft?
Was it in there? What was it in?
I don't know, but I heard something slamming around like something. It must have been in neutral.
It's probably neutral.
I didn't want to launch on you.
I
It's been bad.
glad it didn't.
Like Rusty's truck.
Well, she fires up. We had to adjust the timing a little bit, as you seen, but man, that thing goes at it. I don't even know what the timing's at. We were probably at, 5 or so degrees before. Let me check the trans fluid real quick. So the kids are asleep. It's like 10:30 at night. And if you don't already know, my house is right there. So the kids are roughly right about there. So I wouldn't be surprised if my son came out here in a second, because he's hearing this engine run. But let's fire it up again. Go fire it up, Dad. I'll give it a little throttle pat. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Ready, Freddy. Oh, she's still choking out. Here, we'll do it one more time. We got some, I mean, it's probably just getting hot over here. Some junk
Headers.
smoking off.
All on the header.
Oh, Mercy's freaking out over there. Yeah, we'll do one more time. That's good. Yeah, she's getting a little hot over there. All right, so there it is. It does run. We're probably gonna end this video off here. We got the doors hung as you saw, and then we got this engine finally breathing for the first time, I think 10 years maybe? 10 years or so? I don't know. We'll have to ask my cousin. Yeah. But it seems like it's pretty snappy.
300 plus.
Yeah,
About
we need
325.
We need to put some exhaust on it. We do need to get some, put the coolant in it. Get the coolant circuit all rigged back up. We do need to get some new tires, because these definitely will not get us down the road. Yeah, this one actually started, it blew on me the other day. It's not holding any air anymore, so we definitely need to get some new tires. What, the paint?
No, the dolly.
Oh. Oh my gosh. All right, so when we first cranked it up the first time, we thought Dad asked if it was in drive, but thank the Lord I had the thing jacked up. It must have shot the dolly off. Oh man, that would have been bad. All right, well, thankfully I'm not run over and flat like a pancake right now, but wow. All right, so next time we'll probably check the trans fluid, go ahead and get the coolant all wrapped up, try to find some sort of new tires, go ahead and figure out that fuel line. I do have a new fuel tank here. It just showed up not too long ago, and then we also have some exhaust pieces coming. But I don't know, it's always nice to see something fire up for the first time, you know, once you get it in your hands, you know, when it hasn't been running for a long time, or even just the first time you've heard it run. So this thing, you know, seems pretty good. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I appreciate all y'all watching. Drop a comment down below, let me know what you think of the Cha-mao finally running. Hit that like button if you don't mind. That'll help out the channel and push out this video to more people. And subscribe if you are not already. And we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.